Hello YouTube! You're on TipTop Photo channel and today we will do amazing interview with the photographer from Indonesia, Rarindra Prakarsa. Well, Rarindra, it's very nice to see you here in Odessa in Ukraine with us. And the first question, how long you have been a photographer?
Okay, I started photography, I think 1995 when I have my first camera. It was a Nikon FM2, I think. But before that, I already learned photography more than 20 years.
What was most unbelievable things you have ever shot?
I like to go to the new place that I never been there before. So I really excited to new place. First time I come to Bali, first time I come to Myanmar, first time I come to Ukraine, first time I come to Russia, first time I come everywhere in the world. It was really beautiful for me. So yeah, it's always special and different.
What are the most favorite and interesting models and locations for you?
I like to shoot local people, origin people. Their culture, someone with their culture, someone with the traditional dress, someone with it's very looks everything traditional in their place, of course, with their nature, their environment, their buildings, everything looks in one package. People in their environment.
What are the most interesting photographers or photos or artists for you?
Yeah, actually I don't have any favorite photographers. I don't know, maybe because there are too many photographers now, and my favorite is not the photographers, maybe the photos. I like many photos that produced by some photographers in the world. Not only the photos that like my kind of photography, people photography or portrait, but even nature landscape photography, fashion photography even. I like some of the photos. Not only photographs, but the different kind of visual art, paintings, maybe even sculpture, everything, okay. Art.
Two funny things about yourself.
Myself, yeah, number one is I am forgetful. Always forget everything. The second is I even don't know how to answer because I forgot.
Okay, another one funny question. What was the most stupid thing that have ever happened with you during the shootings?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago, I think. I remember I prepared the idea. I have an idea. I prepared the props, everything, the models. I'm going with my friend to shoot early in the morning from my town in Jakarta, going outside. In the middle of the trip, I just realized I didn't bring camera. I didn't bring lens. Yeah, this was, I don't know, it's stupid or funny.
Okay, good. Another question. If you could have 3 wishes to become true, what they would be?
Number one, maybe I like to go as many as possible places in the world. I want to see the world before I die. I want to maybe bring my family also to see the world. I won't only go to many places with the one I love, and that's all. Out maybe alone is better. I wish, of course, myself, my family, my friend, they are keep healthy, because without healthy we can do anything, including photography.
What would be your personal recommendation for photographers to become famous and as good as you are?
I don't know if how to become a famous. I think this is become a good photographer. Number one, you need to learn photography systematically from A to Z. Slowly, or maybe now cannot be slowly because a lot of competitors, and then you have many things to learn from everywhere, book, internet, YouTube. Maybe the knowledge is everywhere, but you need to learn from the basic, the foundation of photography, growing systematically. And the second, you have to have a passion. You have to increase your sense of art, because photography is part of the visual art. And the third, you have to have a lot of ideas, because ideas is the raw material of any kind of art. What makes the photographers or artists different? Because of ideas.
What is the most amazing thing that happened with you during your life that you can share with our viewers on the YouTube?
Yeah, when I can build my family, I have wife, I have children, and now they are good, they are healthy, they are smart. That's for me is the most amazing in my life.
If you would have $1 million, what would you buy? First, for photography, second, for your own personal life.
What gear? Maybe I'm happy with my gear I have now. Maybe I have a lot of money. I just to have some light camera that has the good ability to catch the moment. That's all. Maybe smaller than, because now my camera is too heavy. My gear is too heavy for me to go everywhere in some places. Maybe lighting. I like to have a maybe nicer lighting that I have now, but not so fancy, not so expensive. I don't like really fancy gears. The second, maybe if not related to photography, I would prefer to have nice house for me and my family, to my and also for my photography. Maybe with a good space for working, maybe a lot of trees, gardens. That's what I always want.
Okay, so from this I have another question. What is your gear? I think everybody will be interested to know what gear you use for shootings and lenses, cameras and so on.
Now I have 3 cameras, 5D Mark II, Mark III, and I have also Sony A7. I have several lenses from maybe 24, 1740, 50, 135, 20x70, and that's all. And some flashes. I have a studio lighting also. I have outdoor mobile lights. For me is enough.
What is your favorite lens to shoot?
My favorite lens, I think the most used lens for me so far is 1740. If I want to include everything for my environment portrait. And the second, maybe I like 135 for maybe portraits, because sometimes I shoot the background is not really nice, then maybe I can make it just blurred. But with that lens, I think the pictures sometimes it looks like more dreamy.
Okay, good. And what about critics? How do you accept the critics from other people around the world about your photography?
I think all the artists, professional artists, they have to accept critics, because critic is part of the, I think not only art, any works, any professional, they have to accept critics, because the critics is something to push you more to be better. But only maybe sometimes I do critic also to some of my friends, for example, that I think but better to have the capability, you have enough knowledge about what you want to critic. Let's say you want to critic photography, you have enough information about the one you criticize. You have quite enough the art knowledge, so it is not like you don't like the person, you hate the person, and you give a critics. For me is nonsense. It's not like, it's better to avoid that person.
One special question from Irina. If you would be an invisible man, where would you go? What would you do?
I would probably go to the certain place that everyone in the world say that it is impossible to go to the place. It is hard to, like maybe for my people in my country to go to the place. So maybe I will bring also my invisible camera to shoot in the place, and then after that I share to the world. Maybe.
What ability, superhero ability, you would wish to have?
Invisible, I can go anywhere without everybody know, even my family. Yeah, I also the teleportation ability to go around the world in only 2 seconds.
And no pay from plan.
No visa.
Book, song, movie that you would recommend for everybody to see and to learn, to listen, to read, something that inspires you?
So far is Hollywood movies like Forrest Gump, Godfather, the serial of Godfather. I have to think that maybe I like any, maybe now is different. Maybe 10 years ago I like some pop song. Now it's different. I like to listen to maybe ethnic song everywhere, from everywhere around the world. Maybe I still like classic song. Maybe I don't know, from 100 years ago to 100 years ago, but I like the music with orchestra.
3 things that you would brought to uninhabited island.
Number 1, of course, my family. With family, I can live everywhere. The second, maybe Wi-Fi. The internet, I can communicate to people around the world. Yes, I still can communicate. And number 3, maybe of course my camera. But what I shoot, nothing to shoot.
How do you usually spend your free time when you don't have any shootings, any workshops, when you're at home with your family?
Maybe I go to some restaurant, nice place, garden, or shopping mall, maybe because children like shopping mall, maybe bring them to art performance. Yeah, something like that. Maybe go to another city just to visit my relative.
Who is your idol or who is your teacher that taught you the most, or person that you learned something to become such a great photographer?
What make me become a photographer is no one except myself. But once my friend, he is a photographer. I work in a newspaper. He is a good photographer. Once he said, if you can shoot anywhere in any condition, and not in the beautiful place like New Zealand, for example, or maybe in Italy or in Bali, or maybe you have to shoot in the garbage, for example, in very, very terrible place, and then you get the good pictures. Yes, you are good photographers. If you only can take good pictures in good places, you are not really good photographer. But that I agree with him.
What about your future plans? What things you're going to do when you will come back from Ukraine to your country? What things next? What will be next year and so on?
Yeah, very nearest is I'm going to Nepal. Yeah, I will have a workshop about environment portrait. After that, I'm again going for environment portrait in Papua. Maybe Myanmar. Maybe after that, where? Belarus, hopefully. And after that, yeah, after this maybe I have to make a plan for next year. Because I'm not a really good planner.
Please tell me, can you imagine yourself as a hero of some of your favorite TV series or movies? Can you imagine yourself playing this hero?
One of my favorite movies, Forrest Gump. Yes, I think Tom Hanks had really good acting. But I don't know, I could be Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump in the movie, I don't know.
Or Buba.
Buba, maybe. Or maybe become Don in Godfather. Yeah, one of the movie I like very much.
What are historical persons are most interesting for you during the whole history that we know, the whole planet that we live?
One of the hero that I really like is my first president. Yeah, is Sukarno
First president
of Indonesia. Maybe from other countries, I need to think. Maybe I like the group you mentioned, the Beatles. Yeah, the Lennon, McCartney, they are genius for me. They are genius. Maybe Tchaikovsky also. Your painters, I like. I like I don't know. He is from. I forgot. He is European, but once living in Bali is Walter Spice. I think he inspired my work also, the way play with lighting. I think inspired from his painting.
When you wake up in the morning, what are the first 3, 4, 5 websites or applications, mobile applications you open first and read in the morning?
Maybe the most, maybe 3. Gmail, Facebook, Instagram.
What people habits disrupts you? What things you cannot accept for yourself?
Maybe I don't like people who continuously lie. lie. Yeah, maybe in the end, I no trust at all. So it's better to avoid and have the negative habit, always negative thinking about something. Maybe to every time critics, every time complaining. That's I really don't like those people. For me, it's better to make a distance.
They say that during your life you should try everything. What things you will never try?
I will never try to smoking. To smoke or narcotic, of course. No, it's no. It also to my, I think to my family and my friend, I will say that smoking is not good.
You told me that first you became the graphic designer. What were the reasons for you to become graphic designer and to select your profession for your life?
When I was a kid, I like to see everything related to visual. Once my father brought me to the painting exhibition, I think that's really influenced me to, maybe in the next, maybe I become everything and related to visual. As a graphic artist or maybe painter or maybe photographers, but everything related to visual I like very much.
And now the special question from Irina Skripnik. Please tell me why all the lenses on video cameras, on photo cameras are round and all the TVs, all photos are square.
Yeah, why? Maybe and why the sensor is square. The film is square and lens is circle.
Okay, let's speak about Ukraine a little. You came to us, you accepted our invitation and fly 10,000 kilometers away from your home. Have you been afraid to come to Ukraine? Have you heard anything about us? What were your perceptions about this trip?
Not at all, zero afraid. I'm excited because it is first time I come to Ukraine. Actually, what I see in Ukraine, Kiev and Odessa, it is higher than my expectation. Higher, I mean, what not I imagined before when I was in Jakarta. Much better. Maybe I heard about Ukraine from other people, what is bad, what is like this, but what I've seen now is very different. So everything for me is positive.
Did you like our city, our beautiful and amazing Odessa? How was your visit and what was the most interesting for you here?
In Odessa, I like the city center. It is for me, it is a perfect place to hang out, to walk around, because I like to walk around the city, to see the building, the history, museum, garden, and everything is there, and maybe it is designed perfectly because sometimes it's the building are nice, but no garden, no green. The city center of the Odessa is perfect. You should come to visit Odessa.
Okay, we're almost finished and the final question, what things you can say to Ukrainian photographers, Odessa photographers and probably all the photographers around the world that watch our channel? What you can recommend them or wish them, some final words to all the photographers and viewers that are on our channel?
Maybe they need to go anywhere in the world. I wish they have enough money to go everywhere in the world to see, because yeah, they need to compare their pictures to maybe if they shoot here, if they shoot another place, like maybe to come to Indonesia. So I wish they can go to anywhere.
Well, friends, we finished with our questions. Mr. Prakarsa, thank you once again
Thank
for
you
this
very much
amazing experience spending these days with you. I hope you liked everything, and I hope our viewers liked it too. Subscribe to TipTop Photo channel, give us some likes.
And see you soon in our workshop in your country.
I say give us some likes, and you say
See you soon.
in your country.
Please subscribe TipTop Photography, TipTop Photo channel, and
Uninhibited. Well, friends, subscribe TipTop Photo channel, give us some likes.
and see you soon
See you soon on our
on our
workshop.
workshop.
Give me your file. Yes, we did it.